Hey, I just I heard I had fantastic news. If you're a fight fan, especially, as we all know, UFC obviously rough patch. Coronavirus not being able to hold the events they want to hold. It's cultivated into an event on the 9th of May, which I'm really excited for. It's a stacked card. It's going to have contender, ultimate fighter sort of vibes. But I saw on Brandon Schaub's podcast, I heard about it there. So go check out Brandon Schaub. Of course, if you're watching MMA thing on YouTube, especially with such little views as I get, you know about fucking Brendan Schaub, and you probably have already watched the video. But they're set to hold 3 shows within 8 days. That's crazy. 3 events, 8 days. We're going to have the one on May 9th. We're going to have one on May the 13th. And we're going to have one on May the 16th. I think I remember that correctly. There's a article on The Guardian about it. I had to look for it pretty extensively, but then if I just type down UFC Jacksonville, and you scroll down, and it says about how Dana White's planning on filming or streaming. I don't know. I'm guessing streaming and broadcasting 3 shows at Jacksonville. This is it's pretty overwhelming, to say the least. Especially with such a stacked card. What you don't want to do is, and this is why I'm getting really excited for it, and why I'm fucking jumping and bouncing around the place like a fucking maniac on coke. The main reason I'm really excited about this is if you're Dana White, you don't want to put your big hitter out first and then put 2 events afterwards. It's going to be, yeah, but the first one was better. You want to end on a bang. So I think because of that, I mean, UFC have already been good about have always been good about bringing out good cards, but I think we could get in 8 days 3 really stacked cards. That's just my prediction. I'm fingers crossed, knock on wood, that happens. If we get in 8 days 3 stacked UFC events, it'll be like the WrestleMania weekend of the UFC. It'll be mental. It'll be a fight fans Christmas. It will be like fucking old Saint Dana has come down the chimney with a sack full of fucking blood, guts and action on the screen for us. So I mean, I know the last title of my video, which should be on a playlist called Rambling on this channel, if you want to check it out. I believe it says UFC 249 card breakdown, and then thank you Dana. Once again, thank you Dana, thank you UFC for doing this for the fans and doing this for the fighters. And I've said this before, I want to briefly go over it again. But, you know, giving these fighters a chance to earn money for their livelihoods, and UFC staff and everything like that, it is difficult throughout this difficult period in our history. But, you know, you're doing everything you can to get things to happen. And, you know, I'm sure saving the fights for, you know, when we can have crowds back might make you more money. I don't know. I don't know the financial game, but I'm pretty sure, from what I've heard about Dana White, not personally, of course, just online, from, just people who I don't think are bullshitters like Joe Rogan. He's just a fight fan. He's a fight fan like the rest of us. He's interested in fights, and I think that's the reason because he wants to see this. He wants to see this. We all want to see this. I can't think of one person who is more who was more disappointed than Dana White at Tony not facing Khabib. I mean, from a business standpoint, yeah, but I have that thing in me that looks at him and thinks, I think he's one of the most disappointed people. Even if you take his job out of it, if you just consider Dana as a fight fan, he really wished that fight took place like the rest of us. Like the rest of us would. But he's doing the best he can. We're getting 3 stacked cards, hopefully. Fingers crossed. I think they'll be good either way. It'll be cards making up for the events, because I've was it the MMA show, the recent one he did with Brendan Schaub, where on air they actually found out that the first show that was being planned had been cancelled. I think it was said on there that they have a certain amount of like events they have to do a year. So Brendan Schaub was saying then, like, oh, it's gonna be Christmas, it's gonna have to be like one a week or something ridiculous like that. So it doesn't shock me, but it is very exciting. It's really exciting for us. I'm really interested in the different styles that are coming together. I want to see what Dominic Cruz is going to do to neutralise the wrestling ability of a gold Olympic medalist Henry Cejudo. I want to know if he's going to tap him or if he's going to try and avoid it and stand with him or what. I'm just, my mind's racing with things. What's going to happen in each fight? I wonder what type of scenarios happens, and I'm always wrong. I'm not gonna lie, I'm always wrong because a fight is so unpredictable. I thought to myself, Conor McGregor versus Cowboy Cerrone was gonna be a brawl. I thought Conor was gonna get him in the 3rd round, and he was gonna TKO him, and he ends up just grabbing him, shoulder barging him, couple of these, knocks him out, and it's over. You can't predict this stuff. If you look at Khabib versus Conor, you think that's one of the most interesting fights, and Khabib dominated him for the entire fight. You look at anything in fights, you think that, anything could happen. Remember when was it? Remember when TJ Dillashaw was rocked by Cody Garbrandt? Remember that? And then TJ comes back and smokes him, and then smokes him in the second fight. Or to stay on the subject of Cody Garbrandt, remember him fighting Dominic Cruz? Who thought he'd beat Dominic Cruz? I mean, I didn't. I didn't think he'd beat Dominic Cruz. No fucking way. He's a good fighter and he's a good kid, but I didn't think he stood a chance against him. I thought just because Dominic is one of the greatest, he's one of the best bantamweights of all time, and Cody Garbrandt fucking knocked him down and fucking started breakdancing on him, and he didn't even go down on him. When he went down, he didn't go down and try and ground and pound him. You think to yourself, is that because of Dominic's as groundwork and his submission game? But shocking things happen, and then like Oh, and talking about Cejudo. So we were linking it all back. Remember when he beat Demetrius Johnson? Who would have thought that would have happened? That's why MMA is such an intriguing sport, and in my opinion, the most exciting form of fighting entertainment, because it's unlike anything else. There's endless avenues of possibilities of how a fight can go, how a fight can be won, how a fight can be strategized, and the outcome can always be guessed but never certified, because it's a fight. Boxing's exciting because I love boxing. I love boxing. Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, um, uh, heavyweight boxing's never been greater. Uh, and then you've got who are the two lighter fellas? You got Usyk coming up to heavyweight, and who's the two lighter fellas? They're like supposed to be the best. They might be the best in the world right now. I can't remember. My mind's drawing a blank. But you know, boxing's exciting, but we all know boxing has some intense strategy involved with it as well. But MMA is just so different. And you can call it boring. If that's not your thing, I understand. People say, oh, you know, I like MMA, I like boxing. MMA is just not my thing. I get it. I don't want to see one man lay on top of another man trying to strangle him. But it depends on on the way you view it. I view it like Joe Rogan puts it the best. It's a chess match with dire consequences. It is a chess match. Each time you move your piece like that, your opponent is trying to react to it or counteract it, or maybe download the way you're moving your pieces so they can move their pieces to beat you. That's just so intriguing. And sometimes I watch a fight and I think, why did it finish like that? I didn't quite. And then like maybe like hours or a day later, I might go, fuck it. That's why he did what he did. Even if they've lost, I might go, why didn't he do this? And then I think, that's why. Because he couldn't do that because he was doing this. And, you know, I'm just rambling on. This is what this series is. Just me rambling. I'm just rambling on about reasons I love MMA. Reasons that we're so lucky. Yeah, fuck it now. So May 13th, May 16th, and of course May 9th. I wonder what fight is gonna. I'll tell you. I saw a fight. I don't know if it was confirmed or not, or if it was being talked about. But talking about Cody Garbrandt, I heard he was facing Rafael Sanchel, which is a good fight for him in terms of, you know, a name that if he beats, he can get back in there. But he's a dangerous motherfucker, Rafael. He needs to fight smarter, and he needs to fight without as much emotion. I think emotion is good for him. I think he thrives on emotion, but I think he needs to control it and not get too emotional, where he's overflowing with it, or he gets into a fucking windmill fight with Munoz and get knocked out. Silly. If he knocked out, he loses to TJ Dillashaw twice. TJ's off the peds. He was on the peds. We already know that. It's been confirmed. He was on the peds. He beats Munoz. He's back in the title picture. No, now. No. No. Because he got silly. there's such wasted potential in my opinion of what his career could have been and what it still can be. But I wonder if his chin will hold, because he has been tested on his chin and it's not worked in his favour. But I hope the world for him. I hope the world for Cody Garbrandt, because I love his style, I love his personality. It may be a bit raw, a bit, what the fuck do you say to me, but it's real. You know, and I think if you cool with him, he'll cool with you. There's codes you don't break, and I get both sides of the TJ and the Cody side of that whole Team Alpha Male versus TJ and Dwayne Ludwig. Oh, and Joe Rogan's set to be commentating on it. He's definitely on the May 9th one. I don't know about the other two, but that's exciting. I think I would never replace Joe Rogan with anyone. He's just so iconic. He's the Madden of the UFC, where it's just so iconic. He's the Jim Ross of UFC. He's the Jim Ross. He's the football fans know Martin Tyler. He's the Martin Tyler of the UFC. He's the guy on commentary where you go, that's the voice of the UFC. It's Joe Rogan. But man, they got some good talent. Dominic's not gonna be on commentary because he's fighting. But you know, Daniel Cormier, I love DC. DC makes me giggle, man. I'll tell you what, he makes me fucking giggle. He says some shit, and like when he shouted "Thug Rose" as she beat Rose when she beat Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Man, I was giggling because I was like, I was like, that's just such a DC thing to say. Like, I could imagine if he was in the gym and someone got got tapped by Khabib, he was like, the eagle, the eagle. I could see him just getting proper hyped up about it and stuff. Felder's good. Paul Felder's really good. I love his insight, his knowledge into the fights. Bisping, I've always loved Bisping as a Brit, as a man of the Union Jack, as we say, a man of Great Britain. I'm very proud of everything Bisping has done for English mixed martial arts. He's always been funny. I've loved him. Are you intoxicated? The one, oh, what's the one? He was in the press conference with Luke Rockhold, and he's like, Luke Rockhold's like, if you believe it and you conceive it, then you can achieve it. And then he goes, that sounds like the worst self-help book I've ever heard. Believe, conceive, achieve. Shut the fuck up. And even Dane was bursting out laughing. He's quality. So he's got that humour about him, but he's also very knowledgeable, and I learn stuff from watching him. And that's the one thing I love about the commentary team, is I want to listen to a commentary team which I enjoy and I'd want to hang out with, have a beer with, but also can also add knowledge and can be like, this is what he's doing here and this is why he's doing it. And you're like, oh shit, I've just learned a lesson today. So when I watch another fight and the same thing's happening, I get further insight. So, man, the UFC, this is so promising. The fighters are getting better and better. The commentary team's amazing. It's in good hands, I think, from the management. It treats its fans right. I think they treat the fighters right. In my opinion, there may be some dispute about that with some fighters. I'm sure, but you know, really happy with the UFC. Really happy. But I guess that's enough rambling for today. It's gone on for 19 minutes and 47 seconds. I'm watching on the little thing at the bottom there. I'm going to let it get to 20 minutes, but yeah, thanks for watching. this this UFC breakdown of the 3 fights in 3 events in 8 days. May 9th, May 13th, May 16th. Those are the reported dates. Hoping to God it's true. I'm getting too excited for it. If it doesn't happen, I mean, I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. But if you know, me, that was a hanging myself. I'm gonna go because I'm being a spac. See you later, and yeah, thanks for watching.